Wow, the lighting is exquisite today. Perfect time to make another video from the hallway in my apartment. So lately, the gay dating app stories that I've put out on my channel, you guys seem to have really liked them. They got more views and engagement than my usual videos. So I figured, why not exploit the rest of my dating woes on here? So I have yet another dating app story for you guys. So earlier this week, I was talking to this guy on Tinder. Seemed great, polished guy, professional guy, handsome, runs his own company. That's always really sexy, somebody who has that kind of ambition. By the way, 48 years old. I'm 32 at the time of this video. So that's quite a big age gap, but I'm not one of those people who has a complex about age at all. For me, as long as I'm attracted to you, you look like you have your shit together, you somewhat interest me, I don't care about your age. But it comes up later in the video, so just remember that. So we're texting for a few days, and then I guess on the second or third day of texting back and forth on Tinder, he's like, hey, do you want to exchange Instagram? Or rather, do you want to chat on Instagram instead? Now, you guys might remember from one of the recent videos, dating app videos that I made, I am not a fan of connecting on social media with guys that I'm just now talking to for the first time or just meeting. Like, social media for me, yeah, I know it's hypocritical because I have this channel, but the idea of I'm just starting to get to know a guy and they want access to all my photos and everything that I'm up to on social media, I just don't like it. I'm more old school, traditional than that. But I learned the hard way from that last story, if you guys remember, that that's something I have to vocalize and be honest about because it totally sabotaged that last experience. So I learned from my mistake, right? And this time I said, hey, I actually don't really like to connect on socials. I have nothing to hide, but I'm more old school. I'd rather text. If you're open to that, here's my number. So I thought I was very diplomatic about it. And I didn't want to like close the door on it either. So I'm like, text me. Like I'm down to connect off of Tinder, but this is what I feel comfortable with, right? We were also talking about something else at the same time. And so he chooses to respond to that, but not the phone number thing. And so we exchange a few more messages about this other thing that's unrelated. And I'm like, that's kind of weird that he's not acknowledging that I sent him my number. But not only that, he's continuing to message me on Tinder now, even though I've established like, hey, I'm down to hop off this app. Here's an avenue to do that. So I just stopped responding on Tinder because I thought, I don't like that. I don't like that I'm giving you an avenue and you're not taking it. I don't like that you're not communicating why you don't want to take that avenue if that's something you don't feel comfortable with. But worse than that, you guys, I'm thinking to myself, you're a 48-year-old man, but for whatever reason, you don't feel comfortable texting me directly, like to my phone number. That for me is the final red flag. Now, I'm sure some of you are like, that's kind of harsh. Here's the thing. If he followed up and actually asked me to meet or actually did text me to my number, I would respond. The door is still open. It's just that I have learned not to keep engaging with people whose goals ultimately don't align with yours. And I've talked about this before in those recent videos about these dating app stories that like, we should be two people talking on an app should be aligned on the same vision of let's meet in person. Anything else feels like a distraction that is just wasting time. I'm curious what you guys think about this. Do any of you have discomfort as well about exchanging phone numbers? I totally get that some people have horrible experiences with that where they develop like a stalker situation and then, you know, they're afraid that that person has their phone number forever. But I also feel like, again, if you're truly intention-based with dating, at a certain point, you have to make yourself open and vulnerable to really connecting with the person. And that starts with getting off of an app and meeting in person. Let me know in the comments if you agree.